So,
Thank you.
okay. Wow. So let me ask you let's dive deeper. So, as a woman of color in business, what are some of the obstacles that you have faced that are specific to that? I know that it's definitely different than what I would experience in
Okay.
so many ways. So, just let's just touch on that, and let's keep it 100
Okay.
too.
Sure. So, honestly, in regards to being a woman of color, I don't think if I have experienced it, I wouldn't be able to attribute it to that because I'm not sure if it was that. I have my ideas what it could have been, but I'm not necessarily sure it was because I was a woman of color. And I'll get into those instances. One of the biggest, if any, obstacles that I do have is getting into major publications or being able to work with higher brand stores like department stores and things of that nature. I'm not necessarily 100% sure that that's a woman of color issue. It could be, but I don't have a way of proving that, so I don't know. We are living in such a unique time right now. I think with all that has went on in history, especially for Black America, a lot of people are pro-Black. Everything is about buy Black. Buy from your own, support your own. So I've been welcomed with open arms. So I don't know if I came in at a great time, but I haven't experienced any obstacles relating to my color. And I think that my brand is so niche that I'm not really trying to get into those areas like a male dominated sneaker brand where it would become a scenario where, oh, you're a woman, or this is a man's dominated industry,
Right.
which it is, but my brand is so niche that I haven't even had those scenarios happen.
That's good. That's good. I was just really, really curious. I know I I'm like tapped in and locked into a lot of different female entrepreneurs and just male entrepreneurs as well. And I'm always curious as to what obstacles they face that are different than my own, just so I could be, conscientious and aware of what is happening, so I don't assume that when something doesn't happen, it's because of lack of effort or interest, and it's like real,
Right.
you know.
Now, I will say this, if I can add it though, I don't know if it's been a necessarily an obstacle for me, but sometimes when I market my brand, I do say that Black woman owned or female owned, and I have got a lot of backlash in regards to that. I actually get a lot of email from other races saying, why are you limiting yourself? Why are you pigeonholing yourself? Or I think that's racist for you to label your brand as that. Like, what difference does it make? If I like a premium sneaker, I'm going to purchase it whether you were Black or white. I get more of that versus an obstacle specifically directed towards me because of color. I get a lot of people saying, why am I specifying my color?
Do you? You
What
know,
about you?
like, I mean, I deal with a lot of that too. But I mean, in my day to day, I work in public education, so we deal within it. I deal with it within that space as well. So, like, I don't care. Like, I'm pro Black. This is me. This is who I am. Black this, Black that, African American this, like all
Yeah,
of that. Like, that's just what it is. And if somebody don't like it, they can go shop somewhere else. Like, that's just
that's true, but you know what? I did have a conversation with a young lady, and she did kind of make me understand how that could be offensive because she was heated. When I tell you, she was really going back and forth with me. Like I was waking up to emails from this lady every day, and I'm like, is she seriously bothered by this? And she was so upset. And it wasn't until we got into a conversation because she actually requested for my number and she wanted to speak with me directly because she stated that she really, really loved my sneakers, but she just really did not like that I was specifying that it was Black female owned. And when we spoke, I kept saying, it's nothing racist about it. It's not trying to be exclusive. I don't want to exclude anybody from it, but we've been through so many obstacles as Black people and women in general that we kind of had a late start when it comes to business. So a lot of times that is a selling point because there are a lot of consumers in the market, not just with footwear, that are looking for brands that are Black owned because they want to support. So that's a selling point. And me as a salesperson, I'm going to say everything that I can to let you know, hey, it's this, is that, if those are things that are important to you. So I wasn't necessarily putting that label on to make anybody feel excluded, but it was. And when she told me how it made her feel, I understood it. And I think that we had a good conversation because I told her that. I stated, you know what, we've had so many obstacles and been in last place so many times when it comes to business, especially as women, that is something that needs to be mentioned. And she got it. You know, she still didn't agree with it, but she understood it. And she was like, well, no one ever broke it down to me like that. I just always see people posting that, and it makes me so angry because I feel like as a white woman, if I were to say that, which, let's be honest, we have to be completely honest, if a white company went around and marketed themselves as white owned, I mean, you would be offensive. So I get it, you know. You're looking like
I emphatically disagree. Emphatically. But I don't even want to get into that. But but just know that I'm a firm believer, and anyone who's watching this, they need to know I represent what I am and who I am, so people who deal with me know exactly who they're dealing with. I've done some deals with different sports agencies and different college athletes and stuff, and I'm letting them know, like, I can't have your athlete represent my laces and they're doing ABC. Like, that's just not, it's not happening. Like, this is where I'm at. This is like where the line is. I'm on this side, you know, and moderately, but I'm still on this side, you know, and that's just what it is. And, you know, and it's important for people to fully understand that, you know, when I say, you know, Black power, I mean self-sufficiency. I mean, you know, pulling ourselves up. I mean, supporting each other, you know, but white power don't mean that. White power means,
right,
you know,
right. See, that's
I ain't gonna get into it. I ain't gonna get into it.
But you know what though? Dialogue is so important because with you saying that, I get it. I understand why you have your stance, and I get that because you are so right. It is something totally different. They haven't went through the obstacles that we had, and they weren't in positions that we were in that kept us out of the economy. You didn't have the same struggle that I have to say that, and it's not the same thing. So I totally get it. I think it's all about dialogue. When people just sit down and talk and stop allowing their personal issues or media to shape their perspective and how they perceive things, I think people wouldn't even get offended by a lot of things because, I mean, you have to be prideful in where you come from and who you are as a person, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Nah, there's not, and I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, those two things are not synonymous. They're not. Mine is I'm gonna build something for me, and I'm gonna hold on to it. The other phrase means I'm taking everything from everybody else, and that's what history has shown. And I don't know a whole lot about the business side and the things I'm doing, but I taught U.S. history and for 8 years, and I got a degree in it, multiple degrees in it, and I know that like the back of my hand. And let me tell you, that's exactly what it is, and that's how I interpret it. So, you responded to her a lot different than I would have, for sure. I would say, hey,
I get how you feel. I get how you feel, and you know, it is two completely different things. But you know what? I always try not to be confrontational. There's so many things going on, political wise, race wise. I really just try to, say, you know what? I think we all have differences, and we need to acknowledge that and respect that, and stop thinking that when another race that has felt like they've been oppressed for a long time has a sense of pride about themselves and want to create for themselves and want to support each other. I don't think that should be looked at as, we're being racist or exclusive. We're not wanting to do business with people. That's totally not what it is. It's just, hey, we have ideas, we have things that we have interest in, and we should be able to express that and share with each other and support each other without feeling like, you're being racist. I don't even see